Ladies and gentlemen, I am your planetary defense commander, Star-Lord New Thor 7, and I'm here to tell you about the giant, big, nasty election storm that is going to be super tornado-y. And I'm here to remind the East Coast of the United States, where 110 million people live, that Mother Nature is going to continue to pick on y'all regardless of season. Due to the alignment of the planets, I believe, because they're all on the same side. So this is the 9th. You guys should be getting hit pretty hard. And then this is the 13th. So after the 9th, you will be getting hit hard again. And I want to remind you guys, it is that time of the month where every month I do everything I can to bring you guys the best information and save lives. And for this short window, you guys do what you can to save me through your contributions and donations, so I can continue to bring you amazing information way ahead of the curve. And this month, I'm going to need a money miracle. Plus, it'll be the 6 years Thor News anniversary on November 23rd, and my birthday on the 19th, and Christmas on the 25th. So, use any of those reasons to reward me for all my hard work, because I was the first guy on the planet to tell you all about Hurricane Florence, and I did an amazing job with Hurricane Michael. Although Cranky Weather guy was the first guy to let us know that Michael would be the problem. You got to give credit where credit is due. Another thing, this atmospheric river I've been telling everybody about, as your planetary defense commander, this thing that starts here and then flows moisture all the way up through Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, and then just up the coast. It's going to continue to keep doing it again and again and again. Now, let us go and check river flooding levels, because everybody loves that. That's like the funnest thing ever to do. Riverdale, what the hell? Never even watched that show. All right. Because is what everybody loves to do on a Saturday, is look at the river flooding levels. Am I right? And that's what I do. I stare at the weather data the majority of the day, figuring it out when I'm not editing. And there is a lot of wild and wacky weather going on right now, all the time. So we have 71 rivers flooding now at this exact time. And the floody pattern is going to continue to stay floody, as I've been pointing out. And so we got to watch out for this election day storm. And then there are going to be a few quick storms after it. And that's the nav gem. It doesn't go too far. So this is our election day storm at 10 a.m. This is the GFS, and it is going to have the majority of the nasty weather moving through Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, New York. So either vote early if voting is your thing, or, put on your mecha. And that's like an armored robot. I'm not talking religion here, buddy. Now over here on the GFS, it says it's not going to be as bad, but the storms usually get worse than predicted. But about the same places, except this would include Alabama, parts of Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee. That would be on the 6th at about 9 a.m. And of course, this will move east. Now, one thing that all meteorologists have been talking about is how these models have not been very accurate at all. Right now, we're going to look at the GFS. This is just like a fun video game. I'm not a professional meteorologist. It's not a professional forecast. I'm your planetary defense commander. And technically, I'm not a professional at that, because a professional means you get a paycheck. And if you get a paycheck, that means you got to do what your boss tells you. And I protect the people, the planet, and the animals. So that is why I rely upon your monthly contributions, so I can serve one master, and that is God. And God wants me to take good care of all of his children, and that would be you guys. So these models have been radical as far as like what they've been showing us on and off. Like from run to run, they will change pretty drastically. But as you can see, the low pressure systems will continue to move out of the East Coast, probably causing more problems for Virginia, Maryland, the Carolinas, Pennsylvania, in areas that have had some pretty bad flooding already. The upper northwest, you guys will be starting to get a lot more rain in the rainy pattern, and I think the models on and off have been showing California start to get wet, so that is exciting. That was the GFS. We're going to look at a run of the, this is the FV3 GFS. This one usually uses more severe weather crayons. And so you got your systems coming in from the Pacific Northwest, you got your systems coming in from the Gulf, and then you got your system coming in from over here. And when I say system, I just mean moisture. Anytime the three moisture systems combined, you're going to get some pretty nasty weather. And I'm watching this low that will come pass over Mexico, where there are two volcanoes erupting. There's also a volcano erupting in Guatemala. That's part of why I think those people are in the caravan. Plus, they're poor, and poor people always get picked on. Like me. I got people coming out of the woodwork to attack me all the time. But I'll survive. I didn't exactly expect being Planetary Defense Commander to be a cakewalk. And see that low that just went over Florida? I'm watching it. We need to watch it develop from here to here, because everything is abnormal, and so the waters will be abnormally hot. And the King of Weather Twitter, Cranky Weather Guy, I highly recommend checking out his blog, which we will do here in a little bit. He's saying, hey, let's go back and revisit Hurricane Ida, November 2009. A reclamation from an archive following Ida and the extratropical development. A month-long saga. Revisit. I'm going to guess that this is his hint that we're definitely watching for more hurricane development. Hurricane season does not end for another month. It's another good reason to keep me around and reward my hard work, because I think we will see at least one more landfalling hurricane before season is over. Though I would love to be wrong, and my preseason prediction of us getting hit by 2 or more hurricanes is already fulfilled, so I can't get it wrong now. So I'd love to not get hit by hurricanes. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'll leave a link to both his blog and that article in my information box under my PayPal link, where you can make your contributions and donations if you want to keep me around. If not, you guys can have all the channels that tell you about how good your political party is or how bad your political party is. Apparently that's all anybody talks about these days. But here is from Cranky's blog, Storm Hamster. And these are showing some hot spots. And another thing, what we have here is seamounts. And that, what is a seamount? It is an underwater volcano in the ocean. And so, amazingly enough, in the seamount areas under the ocean, we're seeing extra strange heat, or heat not falling in line with climatology, which is the history of what it did back in the day. And so we will be watching for hurricane. So like I'm saying, this region is still, this whole region is available for bad hurricane activity. And we got to be on the watch out for earthquakes. Because one thing I did point out, one of the best scientific finds I have found was that the last time all planets were on the same side of the sun was in like the 1800 to 1812. And at that time you had the largest earthquake, the New Madrid 8.2 earthquake happen. And then you had 7 volcanoes erupting in California. And at that time, all the planets were on the same side of the sun, because you have orbital angular momentum, which I believe affects our sun and our atmosphere. And so it is no surprise that we are seeing volcanoes go off here, 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 here. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the Ring of Fire have some outliers if we see earthquakes or some type of post or upper volcano activity in the Atlantic. Well, let us read Cranky's words, because he's way more sciencey than I am. He's way more meteorology than I am. He's probably smarter than I am, but my imagination is fantastic. one of the bigger problems involved is the entire Pacific is very warm. With strong Pacific jet dominance and a very zonal progressive look there of it is tough to get away from a warmer dominance for now. With the vortex tucked well up into Siberia, we can't get the continental based drops ins with enough frequency to offset the Pacific warmth. And this brings us to another point, because we have a McDLT Earth right now, where the hot side's hot and the cool side's cool. And so it fluctuates in pulses back and forth. And so I think we could see some hurricane activity or a nor'easter or a storm that's warm with a lot of rain push in, flood out, and then get a dip down of freezing weather. Which we kind of saw that happen last year in Boston, where they had like 6-foot storm surge in some areas that got froze. And that was some of the crazy shit I saw last year. In about 11 minutes, I'm going to give you more bang for your buck. And no matter what, it's free. It's not like I ever say, hey, if you don't give any money, stay away. And I'm giving you guys a lot of great information. And honestly, I think working off quote-unquote tips or whatever is one of the most honorable ways to go. Because that way nobody gets screwed ever. And I always have to do a great job. But if you guys can't continue to support me, I'll go back to working in the real world and dating women and talking to people and going to parties and stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Our next system is over the rock. This is Cranky Weather Guy's blog. Our next system is over the Rockies, pushing into the plains. Long-range attention will focus on Pacific energy. So this is that northwest quadrant I'm talking about that sends in energy. Sometimes we get energy or just the moisture coming from these two zones. When they combine, it becomes like a Voltron of bad weather. Cranky Weather Guy. Again, our first element will make use of lingering Atlantic and Gulf energy as it develops and heads sharply up into the lakes. That's another reason I love Cranky's blog, is because the pictures are so great and simple that a kid could understand it. And then he mixes in all the fancy. I went to college words. I went to college twice. I didn't learn a lot, though. Asterisk. I did. Self-deprecating humor. Self-depreciating humor? Shit. Doesn't work as well when you're playing Hurricane Friends Commander. Okay, so this is for today, I believe, Cranky's blog. Talking about areas that look at severe potential. Mostly talking gusty winds, but don't be surprised to see hail. Hail, no, I won't be surprised. 2 p.m. Saturday, which will be about 2 hours after this video. New upper low will take on the familiar chalice-like appearance. This is always an indicator of a very intense system that has moved out. I imagine you survived, because it is a hallmark of Asteroid Fight Club survival. 10 p.m. Saturday, our storm has a second rebirth. We'll see snowfall breaking across northern New England today. All right, that means that there are going to be a bunch of snow weenie fights. People like to argue about stuff and get mad at stuff, and snow weenies get mad at snowfall totals, I believe. Okay, so this tonight, yeah, you're going to have the one storm moving out and then a second system moving in. Radars from this morning showed we did get our snow across the interior mid-Atlantic and up along PA and Y. Winter is coming. This is just a preview. All right. Put on quite the vapor show. Yeah, that is interesting. Giant swirlies in the planet. Giant swirlies everywhere. Elsewhere Friday evening, 2 strong low pressure systems in the North Atlantic. Let's check out the North Atlantic right now, shall we? Yeah, science doesn't like to talk about volcanoes a lot. And yes, they did put out a high risk, or there's high alert, not alert, but watch for volcanoes in the West, including Yellowstone, but I don't think we're going to get a super volcano. But I do think in the next 3 to 6 years, we will see volcanoes erupt in the West Coast. Not like, oh my God, civilization is over, but, you know, just kind of like, oh my God, this is definitely problematic and might cause some people trouble. There's our mean sea level pressure. What the hell's going on there? It's not usually that long. And another thing, this is like the 22nd, whatever this hurricane is named. This is the 22nd hurricane in the Pacific. And so until the hurricane activity in the Pacific stops, there is no reason for us to believe that hurricane season is over. Because if it hasn't ended in the Pacific, I don't think it's over in the Atlantic yet. And so now we're just looking at our total cloud water, and yeah, it's weird. And the cloud systems a lot of times look like aliens. A giant shrimp with wings. Quetzalcoatl. Yeah, so this whole thing is the thing. In that this has been dry, but guess what? There are volcanoes all throughout here, especially over here. And then it's no surprise in April we saw but a major eruption in Hawaii. All right. This was the Cranky again, Friday severe weather reports. And we've been seeing some tornado-y stuff, which makes me kick it back to doom. There. This storm on the 5th and 6th is going to be bad. We're going to see some wind shear and some windy stuff. Heavy rains had fallen through Friday, and the East Coast continues to get a lot of rain, and will continue to get a lot of rain. Their soil is so moist, baby. Heavy rains arcing high. All right. Our strong Atlantic high dominating. Yeah, it's that crazy high pressure system. Let's go to the windy. And I'll have to wrap it up because it's fundraiser day today and tomorrow, and I really need it. So I gotta stick to making tons of videos. Sounds great. And I love you. There's your major dominating high right there. And so if there is development, as long as we have a dominating high, that will send any type of development up the East Coast or into the Gulf. So I will stay on it for you. But keep me doing what I love, which is being your planetary defense commander. So if you can, contribute and donate to Thor News today via my PayPal link. I will love you either way. And if you're broke like me, then please send prayers and good thoughts. And I will stay cool, and you stay cool as well. It's time to save Thor News. I have faith. God bless everyone. May the force be with you always. Let us live long and prosper together.